Hey guys, how we doing? Back in another video from Geekdom 101. I really liked the Super Saiyan 2 explanation video. I thought that was quite cool. I learned some things, like I usually do, from Geekdom. He's the guy, he's the one, he's the don when it comes to Dragon Ball Z. Let's do this. Super Saiyan 3 explained.
Just because Goku sacrificed his life at the end of the Cell Saga did not mean that he was going to slack when it came to his training.
No.
During the 7-year time skip between the end of the Cell Saga and the beginning of the Buu arc, Goku trained his body vigorously in the other world and was able to not only match power with Gohan when he figured out how to do Super Saiyan 2, but was able to go further beyond into the strongest Super Saiyan transformation from the original manga and the original Dragon Ball Z anime. I'm talking about Super Saiyan 3, and that's what we're talking about on this edition of the Transformation Guide.
Alright. Transformation Guide.
Although we're not entirely sure as to when Toriyama would come up with the idea for Super Saiyan 3, we do know that he had a couple of concept art
That's cool looking.
prior to the finished version appearing in the manga. In fact, in one of the designs, we actually see Goku with the long hair, but also with a tail. And in the other design, it looks like Super Saiyan 2, except the hair seems to be more slicked back. Of course, the final version of the form would just be the very, very long hair, and of course the lack of eyebrows, which Toriyama kind of put in there to make the form look more menacing than the previous transformation. So the first time we actually see Super Saiyan 3 in the story in Dragon Ball is in manga chapter 474, which correlates to Dragon Ball Z episode 245, which is when Goku is facing off against Majin Buu and realizes that Super Saiyan 2 is not going to cut it against a warrior that's that powerful, and thus Goku showed that he could indeed go further beyond. And no matter what dub you're watching, this is a lot of people's favorite scene because Goku just rips it above the Western capital and shows his great power against Majin Buu in Super Saiyan 3. Now we find out in the guidebooks that Super Saiyan 3's multiplier, it has a 4 times multiplier from Super Saiyan 2, which equates to a 400 times multiplier from base form. Now,
Jesus,
keep in mind
that's
that
a lot.
Goku also trained really hard his entire body during the 7-year skip. So this base form of Goku is much stronger than any base form that we've ever seen before. And the big thing about Super Saiyan 3 is that unlike some of the other forms that focused on stamina, like for example Grade 4, Super Saiyan 3 is entirely a machine built for combat and built for eliminating your opponent as quickly as possible.
Right?
There is a lot of energy consumption in this form, possibly more than any other form in the entire series. It increases your speed and your power significantly, but it also has a huge handicap, and that is the strain on the user, and this is shown several times in the series. When Goku first does Super Saiyan 3, he's able to match up against Majin Buu and get a lot of really good hits.
But it drains his energy from what's keeping him in the living world, doesn't it?
Now, the reason for that is because Goku, using just Super Saiyan 3 in this fight, which was not even him at full power, used up so much energy that it was still enough to actually drain the 24-hour period that Goku had on Earth to come back to life for one day. For those who don't know, Uranai Baba has the ability to bring you back to life for one day, but Super Saiyan 3 puts out so much energy that Goku actually eliminated several hours from his time back on Earth because of how much energy he put out. And later on in Dragon Ball Z, when we see Gotenks fighting Buu, we find out that the fusion plus Super Saiyan 3 put out so much energy that it greatly reduced the time
that they could be fused together
before they defused. So it was believed that Super Saiyan 3 is a form that really can only work to its best potential in the afterlife. That's what many believe, and the reason for that is not just the examples I pointed out, but also later on in Dragon Ball Z during the fight with Kid Buu, Goku was so overconfident in Super Saiyan 3 that he thought if he could hit the full, complete power of Super Saiyan 3, he could kill Kid Buu. And when he tried to do it, his body would not allow him to hit
Nope.
the transformation. It burned out, and he went back down to his base form.
Base form, man. It's like,
Way too much
no
energy.
sugar.
I made that video saying that Goku could not beat Fat Boo because there was no way for him to have done it. If he went to full power to beat Fat Boo, it would have completely drained his time on Earth. He would have had to go back to the afterlife. And if he was alive, it would burn out his body. So the way that Super Saiyan 3 should be looked at in Dragon Ball Z is that it was an experimental transformation. Even though we don't have exact dates or times to when it happened,
that, yeah.
one could easily deduce that Goku discovered Super Saiyan 3 not too long before he came back to life and did not have enough time to perfect it. And as a result of
playing
that,
around
his
with
body
it.
just could not contain the power for a long period of time. Super Saiyan 3 is meant to be a form you use to end fights quickly, because the more a fight goes on, and the tougher your opponent is, the more energy will drain, and you'll eventually
You're not going to be able to use it for that long, yeah.
That's just how Super
Crazy.
Saiyan 3 works, and unfortunately with somebody like Boo, who can regenerate over and over and over again, and has more stamina than just about anybody, Super Saiyan 3 is just not going to work because of that huge handicap. Now, that being said, one thing that I've always thought of is, how does Super Saiyan 3 from Z compare to Super Saiyan 3 from Super? And what I mean by that is, when Goku faces off against Lord Beerus, both in Battle of Gods, the movie, and in the anime, and the manga too, he gets smashed. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. But I wonder if by that time, since Battle of Gods takes place 4 years after the death of Kid Buu, I wonder if by then Goku had finally figured out
how to hold
master Super Saiyan 3. I've always believed that it was the case because I feel like 4 years is plenty of time for Goku to really figure this out. But nonetheless, during the Buu saga, the stamina drain was still a problem for Goku and the energy consumption.
Yeah.
Without energy, you can't do anything. And unfortunately, that's what this form's big problem is. It still looks cool.
It looks
and it gives
amazing.
us great moments like
So good.
The Dragon Fist.
I love my
Dragon
Funko
Ball Z
Pop Super
movie
Saiyan 3
13,
Goku as well. It's
but
cool.
as far as combat goes, that handicap is just not going to work against somebody like Majin Buu. Now, the second person that we see doing Super Saiyan 3 was Gotenks, and we see that in manga chapter 493,
I've got Infused,
Dragon
but
Ball
not in
Z
Super Saiyan 3.
episode 260. And in the anime version, Goten and Trunks were able to actually witness Goku doing Super Saiyan 3, and thus it's presumed that with their training and their potential and the magic of the Metamorph Fusion pose, that Gotenks was able to figure out Super Saiyan 3 as one combined being as opposed to just Goten and Trunks being individuals. This has been a bit of a debate amongst fans for years as far as the quality of writing in this part of the series goes, because it does feel like Super Saiyan 3 for Gotenks is something Toriyama just last minute decided to throw in there without any sort of build-up, because there really is no build-up to this. But the same could be said for Super Saiyan 3 when Goku did it. In fact, there are manga chapters where Goku tells everybody that he did his best.
So random you mentioned the Funko Pops, and then
Vegeta,
my friend Mark just sent me pictures of new ones that just come out.
Some have taken that as Toriyama retconning it to where he was hiding Super Saiyan 3 because of the energy consumption and because he didn't want to make Vegeta feel bad or whatever the case is. But logically, it just tells me that Toriyama had not really come up with this transformation yet and wasn't really sure how he was going to come about doing it. But of course, we do have early designs of it, so it had to have been in his mind.
He was thinking about it.
We just don't have exact details as to when that is. But nonetheless, Gotenks does show that he's very, very powerful as Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Z, but again, it killed the fusion. So even they did not know about the handicap of this form. But we are dealing with kids here, so obviously they won't know things like that Goku was able to figure out on his own. Even though Goku himself was overconfident and wound up burning himself out just a little while after during the fight with Kid Buu. Now, what's interesting about the design of Super Saiyan 3, especially in the manga, is that Goku has black pupils with blue and green sort of irises, whereas Gotenks only has the regular blue and green pupils.
Oh, okay.
What's interesting is that in the original manga, Super Saiyan 3 is the only transformation, not including GT and Super and all that stuff, just in the original manga, that has irises and pupils. And Toriyama tended to really make that an effective sort of way to show that this transformation was all business and that Goku was not kidding around. So that, in addition to the whole, lack of eyebrows thing, was a unique design choice by Toriyama, and I'm not sure how many fans actually picked up on that, but it is something that makes the form different, even if it's very subtle. Unfortunately, to this day, we have not seen how Goku or what Goku did to achieve
get
this
it.
form.
Yeah.
We know he trained. We know he trained really hard.
Like what actually
That's all
tipped
well
him
and
to?
good, but we
Yeah.
never actually see Goku using this form for the very first time in the other world.
It's a shame.
Like we've seen him do a lot of the other forms. We didn't see him do that here. So it's still a mystery as far as that goes. Now, the big question people have asked for so many years is, why did Vegeta never do Super Saiyan 3? And my best guess is because of something that Toriyama said in the 2014 edition of Psycho Jump, which I don't think he had even thought of back then, but it is a retcon that makes sense. Toriyama stated in the June 2014 Psycho Jump that Super Saiyan 2 and 3 are nothing more than just powered up variations of the original Super Saiyan form, and that if you keep training in regular Super Saiyan, you could increase your power beyond 2 and 3. So that tells me that Vegeta probably realized the handicaps
that
of Super Saiyan 3's energy consumption and realized, let me just use 2 and power that up and get stronger in that form. Of course, in the recent stuff, we've seen Vegeta do Blue and God and a whole bunch of other stuff, but we never ever saw Vegeta do 3 other than video games and fan fiction and things like that. But that's the best guess as to why. There's really no other reason as to why except for that. I don't think it's a power thing. I think it's more so Vegeta realizing that the form has weaknesses and thus chose.
He's very smart when it comes to stuff like that.
I'm sure that fight with Boo kind of gave him some PTSD, where he's like, hey, I can't get caught with a banana in the tailpipe in the middle of a fight, which is what happened to Goku.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that concludes our look at the Super Saiyan forms of Dragon Ball Z, but we ain't done, because there are other forms, other transformations to get into in the future, which we will discuss in the transformation guide, because there's GT, there's Super, there's also some
we're doing all of them.
get into, so it'll be a blast. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Cool, man.
I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Awesome. I do like these transformation guide things. Geekdom's good. He knows his stuff, man. He knows his stuff. But yeah, man, Super Saiyan 3 was epic! Oh. God. Oh. I'm gonna make myself some noodles. So yeah, that was that. And we're gonna stick on the other transformation guides as well, man, because they're cool, they're informative, and I'm dumb, I forget things, and I'm not into all the data books and stuff, so knowledge is cool, man. I like to have all these things because I actually have people that I could end up in conversations with about these things, and I could just be like dropping like knowledge bombs, like, did you know this? Knowledge is power. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below, let me know what I should watch or discuss in future videos, and I'll see you guys. So guys, next time. Bye.